we're back with another episode of Becoming a Developer. I'm excited to close out these final 4 weeks of my classes. Starting out in concrete and foundations, we have to break up everything we did to make room for the foundations that we're going to do. So we go ahead and grab these leveling and tripod tools, set up our stakes, and we actually began building out the foundation with the strings and lines and everything, which was actually really, really fun. So this is a string running from these batter boards to the other side. Here we're doing an 8x8 pad. We're not actually able to dig, which is the one thing that we can't do, but we're still able to do the entire layout. So that's what we're doing. Here you can see us scribing where the fictional footings would go if we were allowed to dig, as well as doing the kickers and the stakes to support them as well. This whole process was very tedious because you do have to be very conscious of the leveling and making sure everything is straight. Once we had those set up, we did go ahead and use the bar bender to bend the rebar to 45-degree angles, which was what you would do in order to lay out a foundation. So that was also really cool. I then got to use this rebar wire twister in order to connect those rebars together with the little ties. So that's what this is, super up close, and it was also really fun. As a class, we placed the anchor bolts in, which is that blue thing that you see there, as well as the iron rod that goes through, as if, again, we were going to do an actual foundation, and we put all those in. And then this was the final product. I was so proud. It was a great last project for that class. Kind of sad it was over, but heading over to framing. With our structure up, we headed back to the classroom to learn about ceiling framing before heading back out into the field and putting in our ceiling joists, which are here, kind of where you can see those red arrows. Before closing out the class, learning about metal studs and framing, as well as stairs and how to create our stringers. So that was really fun. Unfortunately, I did get very behind in terms of all the quizzes that we had to do. So pretty much spent Memorial Day and that weekend finishing all my quizzes out. So that was fun, but hey, it's a part of the job. Heading on over to my roofing class. I have 3 weeks left of school, and quite frankly, I've been up since like 5 a.m. today, so bear with me. Yeah, I'm definitely excited that classes are gonna be over because I've been spending like 30 hours a week in class or on the way to class or like doing class activities, which was crazy now that I think about it, but here we are. So I'm very excited for that to be over very soon. But yeah, I'll just give you a breakdown of what we've been working on so far. We have the beginnings of our hip roof on our structure. So what we did was we spent actually a lot of time in class measuring and like doing the calculations for what these need to be, but essentially we figured out like the length of these common rafters. So this is the king common that goes to the end of the hip roof, and then those are the standard commons down there, which we use the same math. And then we had to do the math for the length of this ridge board as well as its height, and then the length and height of that ridge board up there. This is what the view looked like from the 2 stories, so pretty cool to see that all come together. And then we closed out the class doing the hip jacks. So that's these rafters with a 45-degree cut, which is by no means easy. Again, I'm not a fan of the 45-degree cut, but we did it for this corner, these 2 corners of the structure as well. Last but not least, we have interior remodeling. Let's get into it. Now, as far as my interior remodeling class, this shit show, I honestly can't even tell you. Actually, I can. I am like so upset because we literally have, just for some context, picture this. We literally have 5 weeks left in school. The last week is finals week. This week, we watched a YouTube video for an hour and a half at the start of class. So that was shot. This week, the teacher did like 3 back-to-back demonstrations, which ate up like 2 hours of class, so we couldn't finish our work. This week, we didn't even have class at all. That was gone. We just took it away. And then this week, we have to demo all the work that we've done, which isn't even done, which has been super frustrating. So this class has honestly been very frustrating. As you can see, the goal and like the course curriculum for this class was to do drywall, paint, and tile. and we barely started the tile portion. Like if I hold my hand back up, like during this week, like barely. Like we obviously still have hardy backer that we were supposed to do. So that's been very frustrating, but I'm definitely proud of like everything that we've done so far. It's just frustrating because the reason why I specifically took this class is to learn those 3 things. And I've learned like a third of one of them, which is tile. Actually, no, I'll give my credit. I learned the drywall portion, but even then, a lot of it was just me copying other people because he never did a formal class on it, which has been super frustrating. So yeah, but as far as what I have done, what my team has done, we started the tile of our drop-in tub. We did cement for this bench seat, and then we started to tile it as well. This drop-in tub is very steep, so that's been hilarious for us. And this for our stand and shower, we went ahead, this is actually my section, so I went ahead and started tiling these in. Very fun, but very sticky, I will say. But yeah, it was a lot of like math, it was a lot of leveling. I figured out that we don't have enough pieces, so I couldn't finish all the way to the top. But yeah, I was pretty proud of it. It was good to see the finished work and just to see like how, I don't know, it stays and stuff like that. So that's been nice. And then this is kind of like the tile work, some gaps, but yeah, that has been interior remodeling. So definitely not gonna be able to do, I think we scrapped this kitchen area a long time ago and scrapped the toilet idea a long time ago. But yeah, that's what's happening in this class. And then just like that, it was the last week of school, which was demo week across all the classes. So we started out in interior remodeling, pretty much ripping the structure apart, removing all the drywall, all the tile, everything, taking it down to even like removing the studs and the screws before removing part of that roof. So demoing is not something that is new to me because I have done it as a kid for my mom's projects, but still, I mean, demo is always a good time. You get all your anger out, you know what I mean? In my framing and also my roofing classes, we went ahead and dismantled that entire the second story of our 2-story structure. So let me walk up so you can get a view of what that looks like. So yeah, that entire roof, all the walls, all of that gone. And then this is what it looked like on the final day walking out. So the end of a chapter. But now let's get into my closing thoughts. All in all, I will say I learned a lot with the construction classes that I took. So there are no regrets that I took them. Some things that I would have done differently would be taking on so many. I know I did that on purpose because I knew that the commute from where I live to the school that I went to was going to be long and arduous. And so I wanted to make sure that I got as much time in actual classes while I was there versus just like going once a week. Like it just made more sense. Like rather than going 2 or 3 times a week, I might as well go every day and just get it out of my system versus like spreading it out over a long period of time. So that was my thought process at the time. And like, while it did definitely suck with the commute, it was probably like an hour and a half each way. No, I will say it was 45 minutes there and then it'd be an hour to an hour and a half heading back. And this is on top of classes. So again, I said it before within the video, I was pretty much eating 30 hours of my time just in the car, in class, or doing homework when it came to these classes. So that I did not prepare myself for. So I would think twice about doing that again, especially at this stage in my life because I am working full time. That said, again, I don't have any regrets for the classes that I took. With the exception of one, which is interior remodeling. I wish that I had dropped that a lot sooner simply because it started off too slow and then it ended up we weren't able to do all the things that I would have wanted to do or that we were supposed to cover. So that was I think I said frustrating 10 times in that clip, but again, it was upsetting to say the least. And then 2, I also wanted to take this time to let you know what program I actually was in. If you don't know already, I'll say it now. It was Long Beach Community College, LBCC. They frankly had one of the best programs that was closest to me. The other ones required either too many prerequisites. And so I was not in it to be around for 2 years before even getting to the things that I learned in those classes. And then the other one, I think the other major one is, what is it called? It's in Costa Mesa. It's Orange Tech or OC Tech or something in Orange County. And that was just too far for me. So that was not an option. And then so if you are thinking about taking construction classes at LBCC, I would make a few suggestions. So I would definitely say any of Jordan's classes are amazing. He is very detailed oriented. He is very passionate about what he does, and he teaches it in a way that you actually like being there. You like showing up. You want to stay motivated within the class. I will also give a shout out to Bill. Take any of his classes if you get the opportunity. He does the free, I think he does the free classes, the 615 classes. And so for free, you can actually go and learn about paint, drywall, and tile. And he does such a good job. It was so funny because I would watch him teaching his classes on drywall, paint, tile. And he was just they were just going through all the people in his class. You could tell that the work that they were doing was quality, something that you would see in an actual house. And then I was over here in my class, this is what I want to learn. So I would definitely recommend that if you have the chance to take one of the classes, do so. And then all in all, I think, I just think Long Beach community had a good program in terms of bringing in people from the local community, letting kids know about the different jobs that are available, whether it's through the unions, through the trades. There are teachers within the actual that program who do have connections to the union. So if that's something that you want to do, especially starting out young, definitely take one of the classes, talk, network, and then because I've heard about people who actually did get jobs by going to LBCC first, networking with the teachers that were there, and then go ahead and getting a union job by the time they were 20 or something like that. So yeah, all in all, it's kind of crazy because the question is, what's the next step? And really the goal hasn't changed. It is to buy and build my own home using the FHA one-time close program. Now, I can't necessarily build that home myself. That is against the OTC guidelines. That is not something that I'm trying to do. But my whole intention with doing this program was really just to get a basic understanding of what is construction done right? What is construction done wrong? And how do you tell the difference? Just knowing the different processes. So at the end of the day, I don't get pilfered, essentially. So yeah, I'm super excited about what's next for this journey. I'm so excited for my free time back. I cannot wait. And yeah, until the next episode, more to come. The journey continues. Thanks for watching.